Joining me now is Mohsen Behzad Karimi, a political analyst, joining us from Brussels, Belgium, to talk to us about Iran, Qasem Soleimani and Iran's uranium enrichment. Good afternoon, Mohsen. Thank you for joining NewsHour.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
Now, Iran says it has planned 20% uranium enrichment as soon as possible. Now, please take us through why this technical step is crucial and will increase more pressure on Western powers.
Well, it's again another act of bargaining with mainly European major three powers. We have seen similar scenes in the past. So Iranian political and diplomatic mechanisms tries to bargain with the West, especially with the European Union, and use them as a leverage to negotiate back to the deal and get the sanctions relieved. Of course, the damage, especially after what happened to Qasem Soleimani, is beyond repair, and we're not going to go back to where we've been in 2015.
Okay. Now, yesterday marked the first anniversary of the killing of General Qasem Soleimani. A year on, what's changed in terms of the country's defence and the IRGC's functioning?
Well, first of all, we have to understand the nature of IRGC. IRGC is not, it's never been a defensive force, as is established in its status back in 80s says. Their aim and target is only to guard the revolution, not Iran. They are not Iranian defense force, and they are not the ordinary conventional army either. Well, we have to perceive IRGC as a Taliban or ISIL, but plus having a uniform and army ranks. They are not a normal, ordinary army by no means. And, well, as a state-supported terrorism, which Iran regime is, IRGC is a, well, uniformed militia, uniformed terrorist organization, and their job in past 4 decades was spreading fear, terrorism, and instability in the region. Of course, Qasem Soleimani was a key player in that, but the game has not changed.
Okay. And now, what are some of the problems that the Biden administration will have to deal with regarding Iran once they're in office?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, the damage is beyond repair. Trump legacy for Biden administration, if there's still some doubt, if he reached the White House, is beyond the repair. They cannot go back to 2015. Qasem Soleimani cannot, put back in his place. And, the damage to integrity of Islamic regime, as I said, is beyond repair. Is not only Qasem Soleimani who has been targeted, but is entire Islamic Republic and IRGC who has been demolished by the Trump administration. So we don't have the IRGC as we used to have them back in 2018 and beyond that in the region. Of course, they continue their campaign in support of terrorism in various countries through their proxies, in Palestine, in Israel, you name it, in Yemen, and in other regional countries. But, well, they're not going to make it back to where they were in 2019. So.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for your analysis there, Mohsen. It's a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very much.